There's the Mrs. Cat in her usual position. I reckon she spends about 20 hours out here each day. It's very warm. It's warm out here. It's not warm indoors. Whew. So, I am a tiny little, you won't be able to see that, tiny little lizard ran across in front of me then. As you can hear, I'm well. My throat's just tiny bit sore, but not, it's a proper sore throat, not how it was. After my email yesterday, the doctor called me back into the surgery because he was concerned. And when he had a look down my throat, he said, no, it's fine, it's just very red. He was concerned there was something else going on, like tonsillitis or an abscess, and by the time I got back to him, I was beginning to feel a little better. So I was quite reassured by the conversation we had. And sorry to disturb you, Ida. So I felt quite reassured. And since seeing him, I've had 2 lots of penicillin and I am feeling better. I'm a bit breathless if I'm doing anything. I'm swallowing, I can gulp water now. I couldn't do that. I'm not choking now on food. I still have to be a little careful, but yeah. So thanks for all your suggestions and offerings of advice. As you know, I'm not good at taking advice. Oh, am I walking? No, that's a bit better. I had you on high Zoom or something, that would have made you sick. Coming down here to see that Mrs. Broody is still here. She's been here every day for a week. What are you doing? I bet there's no egg underneath you, is there? Huh? You got an egg under there? Huh? No? No egg. No egg. No egg. It's impossible to stop her at the moment. I've not been well enough, obviously, and I don't know what I'd do with her, really. It's so warm. The idea is to cool them off, but she's not going to cool off in this heat, so she gets removed every night, don't you? You're going to come out? Huh? Is that spoon attacking you? Come on. Come on. So she comes in every night and goes into the coop, goes in, has a drink, goes into the coop, and then when I go and let them out in the morning, I can hear her clucking as she would if she were talking to chicks. So you know she's still brooding because she's making the tuk 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 noises, aren't you? But you're not even sitting on any eggs. Nobody's laying under there now, are they? So I don't know where the eggs will be, but they're not there. So we've not had any eggs for 2 or 3 days. So they've found somewhere else to lay them, I think. Takes a while for me to find a stash, and then all of a sudden I come across one. I'm pleased to be feeling better. It was I think the worst bit was choking on my food, choking on water, choking on anything. That was the worst bit. Quite nice not to be choking now. Although I did go to give, I haven't kissed Mark properly since, I don't know, since Saturday, and I went to give him a kiss just now on the head, and as I walked towards him and took a breath to kiss, I choked on my saliva and had to walk away. So I still have to concentrate a bit. I said to him, it's still too soon, I can't give you a proper kiss, but if I'm saying this in a week's time, you'll know that I'm trying to avoid you. You coming down here, Mrs. Pussycat? Hmm. Is that nice? Hmm. So it's August the 11th, I think, and sometimes in August, it's a couple of weeks in August where we have to endure extra dogs, and the dogs in our Paris neighbour's house, very noisy in the mornings, and it's like when they suddenly start barking, which they do at any car going past, anybody going past, they suddenly start barking. It's like an explosion. There's this suddenly massive. I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm whispering, hoping she won't see this YouTube or any of her family. It's so funny. I'm whispering. So it's like an explosion, and it just, it's not. We're not used to it. It's apart from obviously the dogs we have been used to, which I now understand are two dogs. Apart from that, and that's not so explosive. It's not something we're used to. So our peace for a couple of weeks each August is shattered by these dogs, and I just feel like we're sort of on an endurance. It's an endurance thing, and they'll, eventually it'll go all quiet again. And at the same time, there's something about when at the end of August, it gets quiet and it goes quiet. There's this portent. Is that the right word? Portent of autumn. And you begin to feel that you're coming towards the end of the year when you're not really. You've got September, October, whatever. But I'm always aware of that for a while it's quite noisy around us and we're not used to it. And then it goes quiet. And it's quiet at the moment. It's beginning to rain a bit, but I don't think it's going to be much. There's a bit of rain on the forecast. We had a bit of rain yesterday, was it? I was recording in the morning, my nightie, and it had started to rain. There was a few showers, I think, a couple of showers. The doctor rung me, but I'd gone back to bed. I went back to bed after making that video yesterday. I took the paracetamol and codeine because I was able to by the time I got around to it, and took that, and then went straight back to bed. And the odd thing is that when I was in bed over the last couple of days and sleeping, when I'm asleep, before I've woken and swallowed or turned, it feels like it had gone, and it was like, oh, I was laying there yesterday morning thinking, oh, thank God it's gone, till I woke up properly, and it hadn't. But so he rung me whilst had gone back to bed, so I missed the call. He wanted me to go in the morning, but I didn't get there till yesterday afternoon. So we're going over to Joe's tomorrow, Joe's old new house, back to see what's what. She's meeting somebody there who will be able to do some of the small remedial tasks, I think, over there. Had I been well enough, I would have been over there on Monday to support her, or Tuesday, I think it was, when she went over, but I wasn't well enough, so I'm going to go over tomorrow. We're going to go over and see what's what, see the lie of the land, and see what she needs to do so that she can move back into it. And I know that it's not where she really wants to be, but I think she needs to be able to have somewhere to move back into, so that's really good. There's a plant over here. Just make sure you're not too zoomed. I don't know what it is. It looks quite odd. I don't recognise it at all. With its big floppy leaves, and it's got berries on it, or are they the beginnings or the ends of flowers? I'm not sure. I need to be careful. Oh, it's going to flower. Be careful because I'm walking through nettles. There's probably something poisonous or something that shouldn't be here. There's been talk, I think it was on Tattle, of knotweed. Japanese knotweed. This isn't Japanese knotweed. But actually, as far as I'm aware, there isn't the great hoo-ha about Japanese knotweed in France. There was some just up the road from us, you know, along the hamlet. But there isn't the, you know, the whole thing about it. These are the berries on, this is Sorreeee, you know, the hedge that we've got all over. They're big berries, aren't they? Don't think they're edible for us, but I'm sure they're edible for birds. I saw on Twitter the other day some right-wing Little Britain fascist kipper, I don't know what, post a picture of men boarding the Stockholm barge in Dorset, and comments about the luggage that they were carrying and the suitcases, and well, they got better suitcases than we have, and they didn't carry those over in their small boats. All of that sort of rhetoric. And then I saw a photo today, the same photo from Care for Calais, talking about the Legionnaire's disease that they found in the water on the Stockholm. So the guys that have been put on the barge are going to have to come off the barge. But the photo is the same photo, but this one hasn't been photoshopped and shows not so many people on. So they'd on the photoshopped photo they'd put a couple of tourists on there with, you know, special suitcases and things like that. But this was the original photo, and I just thought how low people will go to score points, to push their rhetoric about refugees. It's disgusting, isn't it? It's just fucking disgusting. So there's a family called the Langhams who are donated money to UKIP, who are being paid £4,000 per day to moor that barge. £4,000 a day. And I have suggested on Twitter that once it's been emptied and the guys have been taken off, that somebody releases it from its moorings, takes it out, sends it out to sea and sets fire to the fucking thing. Horrible, horrible stuff. It's raining, Mrs. Pussycat. Well, I hope these will have dropped seeds everywhere. Can never remember the name of this. It's sort of perfumed flower that opens up in the evening and all night and closes up during the day. I'm sure somebody will know what it's called. That's the same plant, but it's not flowering yet because it's... Oh, God! That's what happens if you... That's what happens if you dare to come out into your front garden. Henrietta! Sorry, that'll deafen you. So the shutter's been put back. Came and did that the other day. The frog was here the other day when I was doing some watering. There he is. It's amazing that he doesn't move. And he's on a fake water lily. It's a solar. It's got solar power on it, and it's a little fountain, which goes when the sun shines on it. But because it's so shaded by the lavender, that doesn't happen. I know he looks like a statue, but he is real. Oh, sorry. Sorry I deafened you. There's not much on the lavender now. There, that's the news.